What up, YouTube? So this is DL Movie Reviews, and we'll be looking at the Netflix original movie Okja. It actually came out today, so I had the chance to see it after work. I was really impressed with it. I saw a trailer for it a while back, and I thought it'd be like I thought the whole film was going to be like she loses her dog and she's trying to get her back from this evil corporation who found this new breed of pigs or new breed of animals, like this mythical creature. It's nothing like that. It's actually an extremely brave and a very bold film at that. I have to admit, it's like very bold and like in graphic in some instances as to what the industry actually looks like. So for those of you who don't want to get spoiled, obviously press the pause button, go check out the film. I definitely recommend it. It's hard to watch sometimes, like near the end it's pretty hard to watch. It's very depressing, but it's a very truthful film. If not, it's probably maybe even like could be more truthful. For those wondering what I'm referring to, obviously the whole thing is about the meat industry and the Americans' popularity and love with bacon and the ability to mass produce bacon on such a large scale, but also not being in the newspapers for how they do it, for how they slaughter the animals or the slaughterhouses. Saying that though, so let's get into it. So this movie was directed and written by Jun Ho Bong, and he's a pretty brilliant director. It also has Tilda Swinton, Jake Gyllenhaal, many others, including I actually really liked how she played Enso Hyun, or Si Hoon An is the other way. I don't know how you pronounce it properly. She played Mija, so the little girl whose pig gets taken, and it had Steven Yeun from Walking Dead, and Paul Dano, which I haven't seen him in a while actually. So it's good to see that he's back and doing films. So look, the whole premise of the film is that this company decides to have these eco-friendly pigs, which are good for the environment because they don't leave a lot of things behind. They don't eat a lot of things and just grow to be extremely big sizes, so they can easily be purchased by popularity of the whole world, kind of like to solve world hunger, because everybody eats bacon. You know those Muslims and those Jews, then the reason why they don't eat bacon is because it's too expensive, because they're tight asses apparently. But yeah, so that's literally the whole premises. They found these new animals, so they breed them out, and these animals can pretty much sustain world growth food. And so then we get set to, and like we get to explore Mija and her super pig Okja, and how they have this bond, like almost like a best friend bond, and it's great. They built the characters very well, and like it doesn't do it through talking. He does it through visuals. He does it through showing the time lapses. He does a very brilliant job in actually building the dynamic between an animal essentially and a character and just a human. Fast forward to the whole film is then kind of like throws you into what at first not realizing, but near the end of it you're realizing this whole movie is anti-slaughterhouse. They're trying to show you that no matter how obviously how the slaughterhouses say, oh, we're merciful to our pigs or to our beef or to whatever, to cattle, they're not. No matter how merciful you think it is, and whatever they portray out to be their company, like, oh, look at us, like we love and we take care of our animals, that's kind of not the truth. And that's what I like about it. I think it's like it wasn't an eye opener obviously, but I think it does a brave job of actually showing it and allowing the audience to get the connection between the super pigs and this one company, and what a lot of companies, be it in the US, Australia, England, or wherever, whoever produces cattle and pork, how they treat the animals. And so yes, so the story is that I enjoyed the story. I think it had a good moral story towards it. I mean, in the end, nevertheless, like never give up fighting. I think that was the end of it, and obviously contribute in any way you can. So, for instance, I eat pork, and I watch this movie, and like for instance, I think like maybe I shouldn't eat pork. Look, I know how these things happen, and I do think the way we treat our animals is bad. But yeah, now going on to the acting, I thought the acting of this film was brilliant. My only downside was throughout the movie they were trying to portray Lucy and Nancy Miranda as these two different characters, and you kind of saw that coming from a mile away, what was going to happen with that. So that was like the only downside. That was my only downside on the film. I didn't like that part. I mean, not in the film, acting part. I mean, she does a brilliant job. Tilda Swinton does a brilliant job portraying both, but it's clearly seen as like one person. But I said, like, I really enjoyed how the little girl was portrayed in the film. And look, I think Johnny Wilcox's character, so Jay Gyllenhaal, I thought he did a brilliant job playing this very drunken, lost himself doctor. The only criticism is the character of Frank Dawson, played by Giancarlo Esposito. I'm thinking I pronounced it correctly. He was very bland. I didn't like that part. That's the only part I didn't like. It's very bland. Otherwise, the visuals in this film are amazing, and are definitely worth the seeing. Like the way clearly the way they incorporate the pig and the pig's movement. It's very good. I mean, obviously this isn't Transformers, but they do a brilliant job in this film. So yeah, look, guys. So I'm not gonna like hold you up too long. All I'm gonna say is that you should definitely check out this film. If you like drama, you should check out this film. If you're anti-meat, you should check out this film. Even if you're pro-meat, it doesn't really matter. You should support writers and directors like Jun Ho Bong, because they are doing original movies. They're not just doing sequels, prequels, or spin-offs. They're having the ability to create a different world or portray something they're obviously passionate about. And and because of that, support it. And it's a good movie. You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna have fun watching it, and it's gonna be enjoyable. So there you go, guys.